So Apple just released a new electronic computer rectangle with photographic light sensing rectangles and glass circles on them. And Tim Cook is pleased.
Good morning. I'm proud of our teams. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
While I just hit pre-order on the 16 Pro Max because it's upgrade time for me, I don't have it yet. Thus, I want to share my initial non-ownership thoughts. In particular, I want to share my thoughts on how these upgrades will apply to photography, street photography, and video. So these phones have become extremely powerful little photo-taking devices, and while they continue to have certain limitations that really have a lot more to do with the physical reality that this thing has to continue to be a phone and not a full-frame camera, this new phone is a big hardware upgrade for us. Much analog. First, I want to talk about the action button. Now, this is not brand new, but it's fairly new. This action button does a lot of stuff, including opening the camera app. It works with shortcuts too, which means presumably you could open anything or do anything with the button. Somebody is certainly going to figure out how to use it to DoorDash their favorite smoothie. This will definitely come in handy for a photo walk though. But another very interesting inclusion is the camera control. That's what they call it. Camera control. It's kind of like a trackpad / button on your phone that allows you to switch between camera settings. Spicy, spicy. Apple.com, the website for Apple Corporation, says cutting edge control. Camera control is a picture of innovation. On the surface, a sapphire crystal with a smooth texture is surrounded by a color-matched fine stainless steel trim. Inside, a high-precision force sensor with haptic feedback emulates the feel of a DSLR camera shutter, while a new touch sensor, the first of its kind for Apple, recognizes precise interactions like clicks and slides. Well, doesn't that language just work you up into a frenzy? So you can switch between various settings, like cameras, zoom, you can change exposure, depth of field, which is probably that f-stop icon there. I would love to be able to change aspect ratios. I think that would be interesting. But another thing is that this will be able to control third-party apps as well, from what I understand. And check this out, my friends. Apple.com says later this year, camera control will introduce a 2-stage shutter that lets you automatically lock focus and exposure with a light press, so you can reframe your shot without losing focus on your subject. This is how I'm shooting on a daily basis, so I'm excited to see how this feels. This could be one step closer to shooting with a camera. One of the biggest issues I've found with using my phone as a camera for photo walks is the lack of buttons. It feels so untactile, and that makes me sad. This will hopefully help with that a bit, and I'm excited to get my hands on it. And I'd also be curious to see how these new buttons feel ergonomically. What is the placement like? Oh, and both of these physical doodads are on the Pro and the not Pro. Now, I'm also excited for the cameras themselves. We have a 48 megapixel 13mm ultra wide. We have a 48 megapixel 24mm Fusion, more intensely named than the main camera from my iPhone 14 video, if you remember, and a 12 megapixel 120mm telephoto. About the telephoto, Apple says on Apple.com, the 5x telephoto camera has the longest optical zoom in an iPhone. To make it fit inside our compact Pro camera system, we used a state-of-the-art tetraprism design. Tetraprism. A folded glass structure below the lens to reflect light rays 4 times over. What? Is this normal for lens construction? Reflecting light 4 times over? This allows light to travel for longer in the same space, giving you a focal length that really goes the distance. Oh, marketing language. Good times. For reference, the 15 Pro Max had a 77mm telephoto. I currently have the 12 Pro Max, which has a 65mm telephoto, which I've always felt is just a bit too tight in most situations. Weirdly, the 12 Pro, not Max, had a 52mm focal length. And I'm sad because we've lost it at this point. That's a great focal length, but I'm excited for the much more committed 120mm telephoto. This could be interesting. Now, I also want to talk about what Apple calls styles. There goes Apple again, inventing new words. On Apple.com, it says, We've created new styles that let you dial in your exact desired look with more advanced skin tone rendering and set it across your photos. That sentence is weird to me. The end of it. With the power of the A18 Pro, you can see the style applied in a live preview, like professional color grading in real time. Now, these styles are adjustable color edits that work on a deeper level within the photo than, say, just editing a JPEG. They say that you're able to target skin tones and adjust them, and that's good because we have skin. It's described as professional color grading in real time. Another thing is you can also change these styles in live preview while you're shooting. Other than perhaps the interface for interacting with the colors with the live preview, I'm not sure if this will be much different than just shooting raw, which is fine. I think there's nothing wrong with a more accessible version of raw photo editing. I personally would get more excited about live, non-destructive film looks, and I hope a third-party developer could play with this stuff and build that out. But this will be fun to play with nonetheless. The crazy people at Apple also introduced 4K at 120 FPS. On Apple.com, it says iPhone 16 Pro takes video capture to a whole new level with 4K 120 FPS Dolby Vision. I thought Dolby only made audio. Our highest resolution and frame rate combo yet, enabled by the new 48 megapixel Fusion camera with second generation quad pixel sensor in our powerful A18 Pro chip. Now, while I don't wake up every morning going, I gotta have 120 FPS at 4K on my phone now, get it together, Apple. This is interesting. There are intriguing possibilities here. One of the biggest benefits of shooting at 4K is that you have more resolution to zoom in on if you're outputting a 120 pixel video. You know what I mean? What? That doesn't even make sense. 1080p. And one of the benefits of shooting at 120 frames per second is you can slow down time for cinematic goodness. Both of those things provide a different type of flexibility to your videos that you can use in creative ways. Put them together and you got there are things that can occur, right? That aren't bad. Nobody's getting hurt here. So I could see this being used in a street video context where the person's shooting at 120 frames per second so they can slow down the motion, make things feel more, elegant and cinematic. 120 millimeter focal length now, right? So that's fun. And then you now have that at 4K. So not only is that going to be super sharp and crisp, but you're going to have more room to push in if you want to and still maintain detail. Are you excited yet? Guys, come on. They've also introduced some other interesting video improvements. The 48 megapixel Fusion camera has a faster sensor and new architecture called Apple Camera Interface, which moves data from the sensor to the chip more efficiently. This allows frame-by-frame cinema quality color grading at 4K 120 FPS Dolby Vision. The faster sensor also enables zero shutter lag for 48 megapixel photos, all while minimizing power and thermal impact. You can capture 4K 120 FPS ProRes and log recordings to an external storage device. Whoa. A big plus for pro editing workflows that demand a high frame rate and color grading control. Oh, look, another thing. iPhone 16 Pro also provides a big leap in audio performance with 4 studio quality mics for higher quality recording. How good are they? Well, look out guys, we're getting a little bit nerdy here. They provide a lower noise floor so you can get more true to life sounds. New spatial audio capture makes your videos sound more immersive when listening with AirPods. Thanks to wind noise reduction, the audio quality is even clearer. So there's some practical things in here that could be really beneficial and on a real world level. This is interesting to me. Audio Mix. Powered by advanced intelligence and spatial audio capture, Audio Mix lets you adjust the way voices sound in your videos using 3 different voice options. Want to decrease? I decrease. Want to decrease background sound or just focus on the voices that are in frame? Simply select the mix and adjust intensity to get the sound you want after video capture. It's interesting. So the idea is that, if you have people talking in a cafe, tons of background noise, you can use, this smart stuff to make the background noise go down and the voices be nice and clear. These are some cool benefits of the AI development that we've been experiencing as of late. And also, it is important with stuff like this that it's not too heavy-handed. Apple's pretty good at doing things tastefully, so we'll see. We'll see. If it works really well, there are a lot of practical benefits to this that could be really fun. And it makes making better videos from a practical and technical standpoint more accessible and easier to do because it's on your phone and it's in your pocket. There's so many people that want to make videos about whatever thing they're interested in. They're not a videographer first, and the ability to easily, with less friction, make videos that look and sound good without having a big gear setup, that's very beneficial. This makes it easier for the mom who wants to make videos about being a mom to help other moms who has no video background and no video gear make videos that look and sound good. That's exciting. And the removal of friction cannot be understated. That's a very important thing when making videos. So this update is an interesting one for me. These new buttons have the potential of making shooting more tactile and enjoyable. I'm excited to get my hands on one and see what it's like. My new iPhone is on the way and I plan to make videos when I get it. What are your thoughts? Are you intrigued by these buttons? Is this the most absurd computer you've ever seen? Tell me what you think, neighbors. Okay, that's it for this one. Please feel free to hit the like button if I elicited any sort of positive emotional response or negative emotional response as well. Just like let me know that something happened. What I don't want is apathy. Like you're just kind of, it's like, like brain rot. Trying not to do brain rot on this channel. Love you guys. God bless. Which way do I leave? Where's the exit? Nope, that's a window. That's a window over there.